Super League basketball is levelling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Good afternoon and welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's Cup semi-final time and all roads lead to the AO Arena next month as Manchester Basketball and the Surrey 89ers look to book their place in the final, which will be held in Manchester for the first time ever. History on the line in this second leg matchup as Manchester came away with a 14-point win on the road on Friday night behind 26 points from PJ Smith Jr. And that gives Surrey some work to do as the winner of the semi-final is based on the aggregate score across both legs. So for the 89ers, they need a win by 15 or more to make it to the final. For Manchester, a win of any amount or a loss by 13 points or less sees them through. If it's a Surrey win by 14 points, we go to overtime. Caroline Bullock here with BBL great Jason Swain as we get ready for tip-off. So, Jason, it was a big night on the road for Manchester on Friday, but this is just half-time in this semi-final matchup.
Exactly, and 14 points up. If you go in at half-time thinking, we're 14 down, we just have to chip away and try get it back, Surrey will be relaxed coming in here. They'll know the pressure is off, and all they have to do is punch first. However, Manchester, they have the momentum. They played extremely well on Friday night, as you can see in Surrey, and none better than Cal Carey at punching first. He was on fire, especially in the first quarter. So I think both teams still a lot of life, and still it's not going to be an easy road for Manchester here.
And for Manchester, they had a 24-point lead at one point on Friday. Surrey able to cut that down. And the 89ers will be looking to get back to the Cup final. They were runners-up last time out. So how do they approach this start?
Well, Lloyd Gardner and co, they've been here and they've already done that. So it's not the first time they've watched this movie. They'll come out against Manchester and they'll just gradually try and cut into this deficit. But I think you just try and win the ball game, and then at halftime you reassess. And I think Surrey, they have the firepower. Both teams here have beaten London in the league this year, so they know that they can beat good opposition on key nights. So it's going to be a good one, Kaz.
So earlier today, Jason caught up with Manchester Basketball's PJ Smith Jr. and Surrey's head coach Lloyd Gardner to get their thoughts on today's game.
So I'm here pre-game with PJ Smith and Manchester Basketball. And PJ, a Furman graduate, it's your first year as a professional player. How are you finding it?
It's been fun, and met a lot of guys, traveled around the world at places I never thought, but it's been fun, I'd say. A lot of ups and downs, still trying to figure it out, but I think we're in a good spot right now.
And I know it's been your birthday recently or this week at some time, you know, turning 23 years old. So that's very, very young. And how you're conducting yourself and leading your team has been very, very good to see. On Friday, you did just that. You had 26 points. How are you going to get the W and seal the deal tonight here in Manchester?
Just sticking to the game plan, trusting what Coach got for us, and just going out here with the same intensity, trying to defend and execute the game plan. I think we got a good chance of doing that and making it to the finals.
And PJ, finally, we've noticed that both you and Jordan Johnson, who've had your own good games, you can eat yourself, but you can also feed others on this basketball team. Do you prefer playing at the 1 or the 2, or are you just an outright combo guard, PJ?
A lot of people ask me that. I mean, whatever is best for the team. If I got to play off ball, I do it, but I prefer to be on the ball, but it really doesn't matter to me. Like, I go out there and do whatever's best for the team. Yeah.
PJ, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
So welcome to Manchester once again, Coach Lloyd Gardner, the Surrey 89ers, and you're trying to overturn a 14-point deficit in the second leg of the Cup tonight. It's not going to be easy, Lloyd.
No, absolutely not. You know, talented Manchester team, deep, great individual players, great coaching staff. So, you know, it's a team we've played already 4 times this year. We know what a challenge is going to be.
Well, ironically, you've overturned a deficit before in a semi-final to take a team to the final, and you were the coach at Manchester, so you know it can be done. Yeah,
some great memories here in the Performance Centre. But at the same time, you know, the first thing is just to try to win the game today. That's the focus. First of all, we've got to win, and then we'll worry about the margin as we get to the depths of the game.
And speaking about giving your team the best chance of winning, you did receive the Coach of the Month last month, which is very, very good, but you've always coached exceptionally well. Do you see that as a reflection of your coaching or just the overall franchise?
Yeah, the overall franchise, right? You know, Coach of the Month is basically the team of the month. The guys have done a great job since Christmas. You know, I've been playing great basketball. You know, but it's you know, a family of coaches as well. It's my assistant coaches, support staff, management, everybody that's contributed to those wins, getting us in the best possible position. So yeah, we're delighted to get moving forward, and yeah, we just got to keep with that momentum.
Well, the final will be in Manchester, so there'll be many rooting for Manchester basketball, but I suspect, Lloyd, there'll be also quite a few on your side. You've done so much in a game, and there's so much more to come. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of the season.
And someone the 89ers will be looking at today to have a big game. Keno Lilly Jr., he dropped a season-high 32 points on Friday night. He's 4th in the Super League in scoring this season with 17.5 points per game and 1st in 3-point percentage. He stepped up in a big way for Surrey on Friday night, Jason.
Well, he did, and he loves playing at home. He was 3 for 6 from three-point line as you see him nail that dagger 3 in the corner. But he played 40 minutes, so he played every minute of the game, and he will have to do just the same here tonight. A collegiate player, a Brown University Ivy League player, and in college he had multiple first team selections in the Ivy League, so this kid is an exceptional talent in his first year as a pro over here in the SLB.
And for Manchester, it was PJ Smith Jr., 26 points, made 4 threes on Friday. He's been averaging 11.6 points a game, 3.7 rebounds and 3.5 assists for Manchester. And they're going to need him to keep up that pace if they're going to come out on top today.
Well, yeah, he had 26, as you say, on Friday, the Furman graduate. He's also in his first year out of college, so you love at this point of the year how these guys are getting it going. They're settling him well. And he was only 23 years old last week, so he has so much to offer on the basketball court. But what I love about PG is now Jordan Johnson is playing exceptionally well. They are both playing at the same time, and he at times has gone to the 2, so he's turning into the ultimate combo guard in this league. As you can see, he can eat himself, but he can also feed others.
So tip-up coming up very shortly, and then starting at 5 for both teams. And we'll see for Manchester basketball, it will be PJ Smith Jr., Max Jones, Kayem Cleary, Tim Adetukasi, and Matt Nicholson. I think we've got a difference on the graphic. It will be Nicholson in the starting lineup. And for the Surrey 89ers, starting today, Isaiah Small, Ron Polite III, Tyron Lawrence, Keno Lilly Jr. and Hayden Link. So Ron Polite making his way back into the starting lineup, unavailable on Friday night. That's a big boost for the 89ers.
It is a big boost because they've played well without him at times, and he is just the cherry on a Sunday. Everyone is playing well for this Surrey team this year. Coach Lloyd Gardner, Coach of the Month, and talking to him before the game, he said it's not just a reflection on him, it's more a reflection on the players, because his coaching style never changes. It's always very, very high intensity, and it's always quality in terms of technical stuff on the basketball court. So we've got actually Judson Martindale coming out here, which may have thrown everyone because he hasn't started a game all year.
Yeah, so I think they may have had they were obviously looking for Nicholson to start, but if the name's down on the stat sheet, they have to go with what's in the lineup. So it'll be Cleary and Ling for the tip. Manchester playing in black and Surrey in white today.
Watch Judson Martindale come out here and kill them, Kaz.
First possession will go to Manchester. a spot in the cup final on the line at the AO Arena as Jones loses the ball. And a long pass all the way down the court, and Polite the third gets things started for Surrey, and that is what they missed on Friday night.
A nice pass by Small in the open court, and Polite says, I'll be polite and finish that one for you. It's the opening two of the game.
And you can see on your screen we have the aggregate score as Smith Jr. hits the three for Manchester.
Staying hot from Friday night with the 26 points. Smith Jr. says, take that. Nice start.
And a great pass inside as Martindale with a huge block for Manchester. And Jones will find Smith Jr. Smith Jr. looks to go back to back. It rolls off the rim.
Well, Judson Martindale, Kaz, he may have started by default as the finish is there by Surrey, but what a block, high at its apex, coming out of nowhere. Get that shot out of here.
That's a huge play for Martindale. So a 1-point lead for the 89ers here on the floor. The aggregate score on your screen. The winner will be the winner over 2 legs. And it was Manchester with that 14-point win on Friday night. So Martindale will foul and is subbed out for Matt Nicholson, and Nicholson will come out onto the floor. And a good job there for Martindale in the first 90 seconds or so. You know, that's a bit of a difficult position when you maybe weren't expecting to get out on court there.
Yeah, but it does one thing. It makes the coach think, well, could we have left him out there? Because, you know, he's played well. Move without the ball, a block shot. It's a good start. There's an argument to say he should have been left in as Ling goes down in the block.
And Ling called for the travel. Good defense there from Nicholson. And this is going to be an interesting matchup here. Nicholson and Ling inside. We saw a bit of it on Friday night as well. But that big man play inside.
You beat me to it, Kaz, and very rare do we see two big guys back to basket playing physical basketball down the middle.
Jones has it, finds Adetukasi under the basket. Adetukasi balls for the travel at the other end, so ball goes back with Surrey.
Nice cut by Adetukasi. It looked like he was being held very strong in the block, and very rare do you see him have the basketball taken away. Probably wanted the foul call there, Tim Adetukasi.
Lilly Jr. Over to Small. Small steps back, shots up, off the rim. Jones takes it down the floor for Manchester. And Jones will kick it out to the corner. Good ball movement back to Adetukasi in the corner. And Manchester will get another chance as Jones able to save it. Finds Adetukasi. What a pass and finish!
It's a nice pass as Max Jones puts the vision goggles on, and he finds Tim Adetukasi wide open. Exceptional play as he was doubled at the half court. Max Jones.
Adetukasi has done a really good job this season finishing around the rim. Small passes over to Ling, and Ling powers his way inside.
Small with the nice dish.
Adetukasi off and racing down the court, gets the whistle, and that'll be the first foul on the 89ers.
Yeah, Adetukasi hit the deck there. Hope he's okay. It's one of those where unintentionally stood on the foot, but we can see the play from Max Jones here on our screen.
What a pass. And we'll see Andrew Lawrence into the game for the first time for the 89ers alongside Timothy Wankwo. As Hayden Ling and Ron Polite III take a seat for Surrey. It's a 1-point 89ers lead here on the floor.
So, Kaz, a lot at stake here for Manchester basketball. You know, new kind of franchise, but a lot of history here in Manchester going into the AO Arena, possibly for the final. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. But looking back, there's been some exceptional nights here in Manchester.
There certainly has. The AO Arena opening in '95. And it was the home of the Manchester Giants from 1995 to 2001. We've seen some epic games out there on the court, and the AO Arena will host the Super League Cup final for the very first time on March the 22nd. As Lawrence, works his way inside, but Nicholson able to block the shot as Adetukasi hands off to Smith, and Smith will go baseline, finds a path, can't finish at the rim.
Wow, did everything but score. Somehow he kept inbounds PJ Smith as he went on the baseline, but right back at you in a minute. is Keno Lilly Jr.
Lilly Jr. stops. Lawrence in the corner, back to Lilly Jr. 7 seconds on the clock. 5 seconds. Lilly Jr. trying to create some space. 1 second, has to launch. Cleary blocks it. And Smith Jr. hands off under the hoop. Ball goes out of bounds. And that's a great stance there from Kayem Cleary.
It is. Kayem Cleary punched that basketball out of the air. Could have caught it. Really, really good defense to stay in front of Lilly Jr.
Goes to Nicholson and a step in and out of bounds. So ball goes back the way of Surrey.
Yeah, but Manchester sharing the basketball well at this point of the season. I mean, we're going to start looking up at that scoreboard probably in the second half to establish aggregate score, but they're just going to try tick along nicely. They're playing really well. And the key to them today, Kaz, is to don't change your game. Play fast, but don't rush.
It's not a bit of a difficult situation because it's quite unusual for teams to come into a game where it is an aggregate game. So do you approach it differently, or do you just take it like any other game?
You do, and in the first quarter, the pressure is on Manchester as Lawrence misses the three. They have to really come out and establish themselves and take some control of the game. What they don't want is for Surrey to come back at them, because not only does it chip into the score, the momentum will be with Surrey then.
Surrey ball from the baseline. Wankwo to Lawrence. Lawrence floats it up and in. And Andrew Lawrence, again, was unavailable on Friday night, so having him back out on the court for the 89ers, again, another big boost.
Yeah, but it's even better because his namesake, Ty Lawrence, allows Andrew Lawrence to play more, because Ty will take up the scoring and Andrew can facilitate. That time you saw him score.
As ball stripped and Small comes away with it, but it will be a foul against Manchester. And an unsportsmanlike call, so no play on the ball. And that's going to give Surrey 2 shots and possession.
Yeah, Max Jones definitely holding on after the turnover. There was no play on the basketball. And Coach Lloyd Gardner was all over it, and he was right. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul, and Surrey will have shots and the ball.
So Zach Irvin checks in, and Kayem Cleary goes to the bench for Manchester. So Isaiah Small with 2 shots to come here for Surrey, playing his first season for the 89ers as he hits the first.
I want to just mention Zach Irvin as he's coming into the game. I mean, Zach, former Michigan Wolverine, high talent basketball player with a lot of experience. He's taken on the role of captain, and the performance on Friday told us all why. He only played 21 minutes, but he had 12 points and he was Mr. Efficient. He did whatever it took, and he was huge in that run they had in the second and third.
He certainly was, as a substitution for Surrey. Teo Ogadengbe and Nedas Cholovinskas check into the game. Surrey possession. Lawrence lobs it up, too strong. Smith Jr. down the floor for Manchester, draws the whistle, and PJ Smith Jr. goes to the free throw line. And we are now, it is a 10-point game on aggregate here. You can see on your screen 107 overall to Manchester, 97 to Surrey. Yeah. So that's something to make sure to follow along.
Yeah, it's great we have that graphic as well, because it stops me, messing up my maths, and that's not my strong point, Kaz. So we can see on the score that 107 plays 97 is the one that's ever important. But how quick was Smith Jr. down the court? An absolute blur as he goes down the middle.
So fast as he gets the first free throw. And Smith Jr. really likes playing against Surrey. When they played them earlier in the season, he had a 34-point game and made 8 threes. Then obviously 26 points on Friday night as a steal on the inbound as Osaboyan finds Adatu Cassie. Can't get the 3 to go, but Osaboyan's there for the offensive rebound. And that is the impact Gabe Osaboyan makes. As shots up and balls bouncing about everywhere. It's going to go Surrey's way, but Gabe Osaboyan on the offensive glass does not stop working. Him and Zach Irvin on Friday combined for 11 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they're a good combo. They play well together. And when Zach Irvin's been out, Osaboyan's not been rewarded for the passes he can make. And he is exceptional as well. Both players coming off the bench. How good is that for Manchester?
Adatu Cassie comes up with a steal, goes all the way to the basket. Count it, and the foul. Tim Adatu Cassie will go to the foul line for a chance at a 3-point play. And I think we've got a technical foul called as well.
Andrew Lawrence has to be careful here. He's been thrown out of the game right now. And 2 technicals. Paul Walton has not stood for any conduct. Andrew Lawrence waving the finger and picking up the first technical. And he does it again and he's tossed out. And that is huge early on in this game because his experience will be no longer.
So that is going to give Manchester... So PJ Smith will take the free throws from the foul on the shot. Sorry, the free throw from the and one possession. Lawrence heads to the locker room.
Yeah, for me, okay, yeah, it's an emotional game. It's a big kind of occasion. It's a little bit early for Andrew Lawrence to have to leave the game. 1 technical, yes, but maybe walk away and let somebody else deal with that.
So Smith Jr. hits the first technical free throw.
I'm not a referee by any means,
Hits the second.
No way am I being critical, Kaz. However, these guys are up for the game and there will be emotions riding on it, so that is part of the challenge ahead. It's a shame to see Andrew Lawrence leave so early.
So 2 technical free throws made by PJ Smith Jr. Aditya Cassie will now take the and one free throw and makes it. So that's 3 straight free throws for Manchester. Gives them a 3-point lead here in the venue. 13-10, Manchester leading today. And that is, you know, that's for Surrey, that's tough because you've got Lawrence back on the floor and then you lose him early on. And is it a case of who's going to step up into that position? He's so experienced. As Cholovinskas takes it and blocked by Jones. And Smith Jr. finds Jones into the corner as Carey nails it! Kyle Carey doing what he does best, off the bench, onto the scoreboard. You cannot leave him in that corner. Kyle Carey lives there.
Well, it's so nice. We're hopefully going to see it twice, and we're going to fall in love with Kyle Carey's 3. And yes, is there anyone better right now in the moment and more on fire and feeling it than Kyle Carey? But I love the block at one end from Max Jones, and then the extra pass on offense as the ball is with Max Jones. He kicks it to an absolutely on fire Kyle Carey, and Carey's corner is in session.
And you can see Kyle Carey, the stance that he makes, he's just ready. He's ready for that shot. That's a shot he's taken thousands and thousands and thousands of times in practice. And it's a case of he knows where he is. His teammates know where he is. Catch, shoot, that's the result. Okay,
yes, he must practice it, but so must everyone else. But at this point of the year, when you are feeling it, you are feeling it. And that basket to Kyle Carey must seem twice the size that it is as we see the stats on the board.
So PJ Smith Jr. leading the way for Manchester with 7 points personal. Surrey spreading the scoring around with 2 points apiece for Isaiah Small, Andrew Lawrence and Ron Polite the third. So it's Manchester with a 6-point lead here on the floor.
So Kaz, going, seeing as we've got a little bit of time now, you know, Manchester, they are sensing that they could get into this final against possibly Cheshire or London that play later on today, but their first championship and their first final they ever won back in 1999 as the Manchester Giants. I feel like the Uniball Trophy.
They did against the Derby Storm.
It was.
I feel like there's a connection there, Jason. You were playing in that game.
Yeah, not only was I playing in the game and we won the game, and you know, my good friend Ronnie Baker, the captain, lifted that first cup, but also the day after my son Isley Swain was born, so it was an absolutely extra special time for me and my family at that point.
That is a pretty special weekend as Small puts the ball back in the hoop, cuts the lead down to 4. 4-point game. Jones to the basket, not that time, and Osaboyan can't keep it inside the lines, but the power on Osaboyan as he's going for those rebounds is absolutely immense for Manchester.
Yeah, Cholovinskas played Jones well. He was on his hip, so he was at his mercy, and he managed to evade contact and challenge Cholovinskas with the good defensive stop.
Polite the third. To Small. Small has Ossaboyan on him, and foul called against Manchester. That's on the floor.
So Surrey moving the ball well, and with Teog and Denby in the game, who did play really well as well on Friday, rolling back the years, they move the basketball well when he's in the game. Yeah,
Elgin Denby with 12 points off the bench on Friday, as we'll see Jordan Johnson come into the game for Manchester. So Surrey possession. Lawrence. 8 seconds on the clock, swarmed by Jones. As balls with Small, and Ossaboyan will pick up his first foul.
Not only do we have the men flying high here in Manchester, Kaz, and no one knows more about women's basketball than yourself. You know, you commentate on a lot of games and you have so much knowledge within the women's game. You do so much research. It's not just about the men this weekend.
No, we've got the Manchester women's team coming up after this game at 6 o'clock, playing against the Oakland Wolves in the semi-final. So they're looking to try and make history and make it to the cup final at the AO Arena, as Small has a clear path to the basket, will be fouled from behind. So 2 shots to come.
I find it extremely impressive, Kaz, that you know Dom Allen, she's in her 4th year as general manager here from when it was the Giants, took over in Manchester basketball, and we do go on about this, but playing in Europe, both teams having a shot to get into the final. Whatever happens on the court tonight, you have to tip your hat off to Dom and Pete, who do an absolutely sensational job for Manchester basketball.
Certainly, and it's been an incredibly successful season for them as well. In the EMBL, in their first season, Manchester, they finished in the top 8, finished 5th, so they get a home court playoff game that will be in March.
Well, I also have the luxury of commentating for, both Euro Cup and the Basketball Champions League. And Manchester, hopefully they can make that extra step from the EMBL and, get into that Basketball Champions League and really test their mettle at that level, which is another step up.
I'm sure that's something they'll certainly be looking towards. So Small hits the last 2 free throws, and the foul was on Irvin for Manchester. It's a 2-point game on the floor as ball will come off Surrey.
A little bit hot potato basketball from Gabe Ossaboyan. He tried to thread the needle to Zach Irvin. It's not going to be the last time we see that. But Surrey with the deflection as Cal Carey shoots another one and nails another one. He is absolutely on fire and feeling it. Cal Carey, back-to-back threes.
Carey hit 16 points on Friday, a season high for him. And just continues to be such a reliable player off the bench for Manchester. What a finish there from Polite III.
And Small threading the needle there. But going back to Kyle Carey, do you know why he's shooting a basketball that well?
Because he practices, he stays ready, so he doesn't have to get ready.
Oh, nice cut.
As Irvin on the baseline, tries to bounce the ball off. Surrey doesn't kind of work out that way, but Cholovinskas to the hole, and Nenas Cholovinskas a chance for a 3-point play at the foul line.
That is a move, and I will just say both these teams, they have the luxury. We'll go back to Cal Carey, but first give Cholovinskas his flowers, because they have English talent on both of these teams, so that is a recipe for success. But Kyle Carey, I'll tell you why he's shooting the basketball well. He's had a good run in the team. He's been left out there, and he's been able to establish himself and prove that he's one, not only English players, he's one of the best guards in this league.
As Cholovinskas hits the free throw, the Super League's Molten most improved player from last season was Cholovinskas, as he takes a seat. And Keno Lilly Jr. back into the game.
Keno Lilly Jr., 32 points on Friday.
He was on fire. Yet to get on the scoreboard today, but I'm sure it won't be long as Irvin finishes with the reverse. Have you ever seen Zach Irvin take a non-reverse layup?
Probably not. Probably not.
Surrey looking to answer. Lawrence working against Johnson. Lawrence fading away off the rim.
Johnson played it extremely well. Surrey went into a zone there. Let's see if they're staying it now. They'll go back to man.
Johnson floats it up, and nice finish from Irvin.
Zach Irving palmed that one in with his left hand. Really nice play.
And Jordan Johnson, such a good facilitator out there on the floor for Manchester, as Polite the third answers for the 89ers, and he's up to 6 points personal.
Surrey hanging in there at the moment, Kaz. 2 points down on the evening.
Carey hands off to Cleary. Shelton to Johnson. Johnson back inside to Shelton. And you talk about facilitators, Jordan Johnson with a pinpoint precision pass.
Jordan Johnson chugging along in second gear. He never gets to third, but he seems to do the trick whatever he does. But what a pass that was to Shelton, who finishes on the break. But Jordan Johnson, smooth as you like.
Jordan Johnson with 3 assists, as Cleary will pick up his first foul for Manchester. Sends Surrey to the line. And we'll see Shelton head to the bench and Matt Nicholson back out on the floor.
Coach Otten deserves a lot of credit for get to this point, and he really now looks like you can tell who his starting 5 are, who his guys coming off the bench, who fits, who plays with who. He's really found a recipe, really, that works. And
you see Cholovinskas and Ling back out onto the court, so that's why you think Matt Nicholson's come back in to counter Ling. So Small hits the first and goes 2 of 2 from the line. Small up to 8 points, leading the way for Surrey, leading all scorers today, as Cleary can't keep the ball inside the lines, and it goes back with the 89ers. So a 25-23 lead for Manchester on the floor. Manchester up 16 on aggregate. Lawrence to Small. Lilly Jr. Small with 5 seconds out to Cholovinskas. Cholovinskas shot spins off the rim. But that's a good look for Cholovinskas. We know how dangerous he is from 3.
Yeah, he can make those with regularity.
And a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Johnson will set things up for Manchester, taking some time off the clock. Johnson puts it up and gets the bounce. 6 seconds, 3 seconds, and Carey will foul. So that's going to send Surrey to the foul line with 2.7 seconds to go, and that's the second foul on Carey.
Yeah, and this is where he has to be a bit smarter, because you are moving from a guy that has come off the bench and played a few minutes, and now you are deservedly in arguably a starting role and a really focal point of the team. When that happens, you have to watch your foul trouble. With 2.7 remaining, let that one go. Even if he scores, you stay in the game and you continue to play, because your importance and your stock within the game has gone up significantly in this last 2 months.
As Lilly Jr. gets both, 2.7 seconds, so Manchester are going to have to launch. As Johnson with 2 seconds, Johnson and Ty Lawrence looks like he hit the floor there. Didn't quite catch what happened, Jason, but just with time running down, it was like Ty Lawrence either got caught on the play, but as it stands, while he gets seen to at the moment, as it stands, Manchester with a 27-25 lead here at the end of the first quarter. That gives them a 16-point lead overall on aggregate.
It does, and Ty Lawrence looks like he's taken a tough one there. I mean, hopefully he's winded and it's a little bit of a dead leg, but it's one of those that Matt Nicholson sets the screen, and because of his size, that one hurts. Did he do anything intentionally and too physical? No, he didn't, but if you do not call the screen on the guy guarding the basketball, that's what happens. So really, it's the defense of Surrey's fault, whoever is guarding Nicholson, that cost him that, but he's okay.
So Lawrence heads to the bench and he'll get checked out. So at the end of the first quarter, Manchester shooting 56% from the field to Surrey's 44. Manchester having hit 3 threes so far, Surrey yet to hit one, and this was a little bit similar to what we saw on Friday night. So on Friday, Manchester made 13 threes to Surrey's 6.
I would say nothing to report home yet, Kaz. You know, Surrey have not made a three-point shot, but that is the only real thing that stands out. It's too early to be talking stats. We're just going to see who can continue to assert themselves in the second quarter. But this second and third quarter, I'm not breaking any news, but it's huge.
It is huge. And also, in the other bracket, so the other semi-finals that will be played today will be between Cheshire and London. And that game's tipping off at 5:30 today. So probably after this one's finished.
I mean...
and it's London that have a 17-point lead over Cheshire as they head into that second leg.
They do, but I fancy London kind of wanted a bigger lead because anybody going into Cheshire is tough. Quincy Lurido and co, they are a tough outfit. They will fight tooth and nail to try and get that win, and it won't be an easy task for the London Lions.
And you can catch that game live on DAZN and also on the Super League Basketball YouTube channel and on Super League's TikTok. So, second quarter underway, and that'll be the second foul on Zach Irvin. So Manchester picking up a few early fouls here. We've got Kyle Carey, Gabe Osaboyan, and Zach Irvin all on 2 fouls.
And those are arguably your 3 best defenders. So Kyle Carey is probably your best on-ball defender. And then Zach Irvin, who can guard anyone, and Gabe Osaboyan also. So
offensive rebound chased down by Polite III. Cholovinskas has it, goes baseline, and that'll be a 24-second shot clock violation. So that big offensive rebound, but as the ball didn't hit the rim, shot clock didn't reset. So time ticking off the clock for Surrey.
It was an error by Cholovinskas. He had a wide open one, and what he's good at from 3, and he turned it down.
Carey, round to Cleary. Johnson working against Polite III. Johnson steps back, 3's up, off the rim. Surrey have possession. Polite III stops, puts it up, doesn't drop. Manchester looking to extend this lead. Carey thought about it, round to Johnson. Yeah,
he will be thinking about it every time he catches the ball, but this is nice for Jordan Johnson to play 2 ball at the top of the key. Let's see what he gets.
Johnson weaving his way inside. Ling comes up with the rebound. Defense. Polite III, ball's knocked loose, able to keep it alive, and Ling with the rebound. Nicholson swats the ball, but that will be a goaltend call as basket interference will count the basket for Surrey, and we're tied at 27 all on the floor.
Credit Hayden Ling with the putback. That's his, I think, second bucket of the basketball game.
It was Cleary's block.
Yeah, it was Cleary's block, but yeah, Hayden Ling coming in with some good minutes as the shot was missed by Polite, and right on time, ting-a-ling-a-ling with the stick back. I've been thinking about that one, Kaz. It probably didn't come across that great, but...
I liked it.
You did. You did,
It wouldn't be the same if you didn't do it, David. So, Max Coop onto the floor for the first time for Surrey. As Cleary gets the whistle on the shot, so 2 free throws to come here for Kayem Cleary.
Lilly Jr. played that well, though, until the shot, because you have to trail Kayem Cleary because he always curls. As you see here, he would have got to the elbow, but Lilly Jr. stepping underneath, a good call.
That'll be the second foul on Lilly Jr. for the 89ers. And Kayem Cleary, you know, we've spoken about this a lot, the hometown hero. He's back in Manchester after 8 years away. For a player like him with a potential to play at the AO Arena in the final if Manchester make it, how huge is that for someone like him?
Yeah, it will be special, and you'll have plenty of family watching if that does happen. But I just have a feeling, Kaz, with 8 minutes remaining in the second, Surrey are doing what they came here to do. They're hanging in there, and we will probably see in the second half what happens, but Surrey have really played some good basketball as Ling scores again, count the bucket, and won.
And Hayden Ling with a chance to cut into this lead for the 89ers. And Surrey, if you're Surrey, you're down 14 at the moment. You're kind of looking to get it under that 10-point mark across the aggregate score. Chip into that, get it to single digits. If you can get it to single digits before halftime, you're in a really good position.
Yeah, I don't know. Coach Lloyd Gardner is so experienced within the game. You know, played the game here as a younger player and then went into coaching quite early. And he's had, you know, really, really good knowledge of the game at different teams. But I think he will have just said, let's just hang around. Let's not get blown out in the first half. As long as they can do that and get a rhythm, they're still in it.
So Surrey take the lead on the floor. It's a 13-point lead for Manchester overall. Johnson to Cleary. Against Lawrence. Cleary with 4 seconds, takes it to the basket, banks it in for 2.
Kyan Cleary, mano at the top of the key as it was one-on-one, about 10 or 12 dribbles. Got the job done.
Lawrence. Tyron Lawrence signing with the 89ers in January has made a real impact for them when he's been out on the floor. 6 wins and 1 loss in the league since Lawrence has signed. As Johnson takes it all away for Manchester and gets the foul call. So 2 free throws to come for Johnson. It's going to be the second team foul on the 89ers.
Looked like it was a foul early on Cholovinskas on the wing. And I think he tried to foul him. The foul wasn't called and Hayden Ling got called for the block, but looked like Johnson may have extended his arm and got away with one. I think he was fouled at least on one of the fouls.
So Jordan Johnson at the foul line, 3 assists and 2 points for Manchester today. He's been averaging just over 12 points a game and 5 assists. He's 6th in the Super League in assists and had a massive 13-assist game against Cheshire. I've said assists a lot there, but that's what he does.
You have indeed, Kaz. I didn't notice that, but I think what Coach Matthew Watton has done is he's got his guards playing all very well at the same time. You know, Max Jones, how many Player of the Game awards has he had? Kyan Cleary is proven that he can score down the stretch. And Jordan Johnson and PJ Smith playing well. And then you throw in Cal Carey, you cannot miss. And they are playing really, really well collectively.
As Johnson hits both for Manchester. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Lawrence to Small. Small goes to the basket. As Johnson over to Adatu Kassi. Ball's loose, picked up by Ogdengbi. And Small stops, pulls up. That's short.
Yeah, I like the shot there though, Kaz. Needed a 3, as Kyan Cleary says. Can I respond? He doesn't, but the shot by Surrey wasn't a bad one.
Lawrence looks to answer, can't get it to go. Small with the offensive board. Small working on the baseline, too many steps. And ball goes back Manchester's way.
Yeah, Small's going to argue that it wasn't a travel, but here's news. Little steps do count. As he took 1, 2, 3, and 4 and picked up that pivot foot. So good call by the referee.
So substitution as we see Kyle Carey back out for Manchester, and Kyan Cleary goes to the bench. Smith Jr. using the screen from Adatu Kassi. Smith Jr. dancing around the outside, will dish off, and Nicholson jams it home.
What a pass by Smith, threading the needle to Nicholson, and the lob hunter does the rest.
Ball's loose but kept alive by Lawrence. Back to Lawrence. Ling. Cholovinskas looking for some space, over to Ling, 5 seconds, splashes it in. Manchester with a 3-point lead on the floor. Adatu Kassi to Jones. Has Small on him. Jones, and blocked by Small. Cholovinskas leads the charge for Surrey.
Really good defense there by Surrey as Cholovinskis pulls from deep.
Small gets another chance, and Small hits the fadeaway. He's into double figures now at 10 points. Isaiah Small is working on the glass for the 89ers.
Surrey playing exceptionally well and not really getting it going from behind the trifecta range. They are sensing that they could have a run in them in this last 5 minutes of the first half. Now,
Surrey, a team that leads the Super League in points in the paint with 41.5. That's their game. That's what they've been looking to. And they've got 18 to Manchester's 16 so far.
They have, and I mean, 35 plays 34 is all we could have wanted for the neutral. If you're a Manchester fan, you will feel that this is not safe yet, but PJ Smith Jr. with 7 points leading for Manchester, and Isaiah Small, the first guy in double figures.
So all roads lead to the AO Arena. For the very first time, the Super League Cup final will be held in Manchester at the AO Arena on March the 22nd. You can get your tickets now. Go to Super League Basketball M or superleaguebasketballw.co.uk. The women's game will be at 1:30, and that will be between either Manchester and Oakland and Sheffield and Caledonia. Both women's semi-finals coming up later on today, and the men's game will be at 4:30, and it will be Manchester or Surrey against either London or Cheshire. So that's some really tantalising matchups, Jason.
It is a tantalising matchup, and we're just lucky that Manchester over the years has had some really, really good games come. You know, not only the SLB and the BBL back then, but, you know, we've had NBA games here in Manchester a couple of times. So
we've had the first WNBA game in Europe when the Atlanta Dream came and played against Great Britain. As Jones fires a three, doesn't get the roll. And a long pass over to Small. Oh, Small, patient basketball, finishing under the hoop.
Yeah, kisses it off the glass with the left, and he really held Max Jones off well to catch that basketball and score.
Aggregate scores down to 13. Smith Jr. Not that time.
Yeah, here come the 89ers, Cash. You can feel the momentum going their way. It could have been an and one and a timeout's goal because coach Matthew Otten can smell blood here.
And that was a tough move from Lawrence to the basket. It's an 11-point Manchester lead on aggregate. And I tell you what, it's great to see the crowd support from Surrey. It's not a quick trip, but they're making a lot of noise.
It definitely is, and you could have argued that this could have been an and one, not this one, the play after. I like how Surrey are trying to speed up the game. Even after scores, they're looking to push the ball back down the guts of the defense. The more shots that can be taken in this game, the more chance Surrey have to get back in it.
It's been an 11-8 run this quarter for Surrey, and they've been led by Isaiah Small, 12 points personal. And Small averaging just under 15 points a game this season. So, like we said, he's really stepped it up, like Keno Lilly did on Friday night. Isaiah Small really stepping up to the challenge today.
Yeah, and there's nothing small about his game. The first guy in double digits, but he's passed, he's facilitated, and he's played good defense because at times he's guarded the quicker Smith Jr., so he's doing a little bit of everything for his team tonight.
And we can see there 8 second chance points for Surrey to Manchester's 2, and that's been 6 offensive rebounds for the 89ers to 2 for Manchester. Is that something maybe Manchester want to tighten up on a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they won't want Surrey bullying them. Surrey will go, I thought they was going to go into the zone, but they are back in their man. But yeah, Manchester will want to contribute more in that reflection.
As Jordan Johnson pulls up for the long two, and straight out of the timeout, Johnson scoring for Manchester.
That will settle the nerves. Jordan Johnson is always reliable when it matters.
Small. 3 doesn't fall. Johnson back down the floor. It's over 3.5 minutes to play in the first half, and Johnson kicks it out to the corner as Anitu Kassi making it rain. And a timeout called by Lord Gardner and Surrey, and that is a quick turnaround there for Manchester and a quick timeout for Surrey.
Well, we know the game is runs, and we know Coach Otten called that timeout to perfection. If he hadn't have done, Surrey might have been on their run, but as it happens, Manchester respond. And there's something about that corner, because when guys catch that ball where Anitu Kassi is now, I don't remember Manchester missing too many.
I would love, Jason, I would love to see the percentages from that corner three. I think we need Dan Routledge on the phone.
Well, the corner three has always been an easier shot for some guys because the distance is less. You know, you take one from the wing, you take one from the point, you can see the markings on the court. That straight line going into the corner just gives you probably a foot extra to play with. But guys spacing the floor, so much happens at the top of the key in screen and roll, and it just means that if you're in the corner, quite often you end up the open guy. And Kyle Carey, as we know, Carey's corner, and Tim Adatu-Cassie are kind of making a living in that corner right now.
So the team's coming back out onto the floor. Manchester leading by 16 on aggregate. Cheshire and London will be tipping off at 5:30 today. That game will be live on DAZN, on the Super League Basketball YouTube and Super League Basketball TikTok. So make sure to catch that game after this one in the second of their semi-final games. As shots off the rim. And Adatu-Cassie, oh, what a move! Adatu-Cassie reverses the ball in the basket.
Wow, a bully with his back to the basket and a gazelle in the open court. Tim Adatu-Cassie stretches the legs and finishes. Number 22, good for the money.
Lawrence steps back. Oh, what a shot.
That was tough.
And Tyrin Lawrence, 6 points for the 89ers. Johnson against Lawrence. Adatu-Cassie hands off to Smith Jr. and an offensive foul called against Manchester will go against Adatu-Cassie. That's his first and the third team foul on Manchester. So Surrey will have possession.
Yeah, that time you can see Adatu-Cassie out and running and finishes, but the following play, when he picks up that foul, he hands the ball off to PJ Smith, and PJ Smith just moving too early. It was inevitable he was going to get the foul, the right call.
Lawrence against Johnson. Ball's knocked loose and foul goes against the 89ers. That's their third team foul, and that'll be on Small, his second.
It's impressive how Manchester can get out and run. As soon as there is a turnover, they can go from first to fifth gear. Wouldn't be very good going from fifth to first, would it? But Adatu-Cassie there, he's on the front foot as he catches the basketball, and they can really turn defense into offense very quickly.
And they are a team that likes to get out and run, and you'll see Adatu-Cassie does such a good job reading the passing lanes as well, but often Adatu-Cassie racing down the court, ready to receive that pass as ball's up and can't finish from Nicholson. As Lawrence out to Lilly Jr. Lawrence in the corner and fouled on the three. So 3 shots to come here at the foul line for Surrey as Johnson picks up the foul.
And I'm just laughing at Jordan Johnson. I mean, he's had his way with step backs and 4-point plays in the past, but as you can see right here, he's the one, no business arguing that foul. It's a foul in any league, and Jordan Johnson has had it his way in the other direction plenty of times this season. So if you're the referee, you do not want to hear that.
So Tyrin Lawrence at the foul line. Dropped 30 points against Caledonia earlier in the season, only signing in January with Surrey.
And we just saw Lawrence with his Globetrotter impression going down the middle before that 3-ball came up.
We certainly did, and the Harlem Globetrotters, another team that have played at the AO Arena. Their 100th year anniversary is this year in 2026. That's pretty cool.
There's been a lot going on at the AO Arena, formerly the 9X, and then
the MEN Arena.
MEN. It was the 9X back in my day, but it's always been an iconic venue for not only basketball, concerts and whatnot. How good is it that there's going to be a final back there? That place will be rocking.
It's going to be very, very exciting. So we hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. Manchester up 15 on aggregate, up 1 on the floor. Johnson out to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. going baseline. Oh, with a circus shot in off the glass.
And a defensive headache on the court right now. The two-headed monster, Jordan Johnson and PJ Smith Jr. coming at you in terms of quickness, not good for your health defensively. But what a move by PJ Smith on the baseline.
The way he contorts himself round the basket, able to just get round defenders. He's so shifty.
Yeah, look at the balance there. Look at the finish with the left.
And a foul against Manchester puts Ron Polite III at the line for Surrey, playing in his first season for the 89ers. As he gets the first, coming out of the University of North Carolina in Greensboro, where he averaged 13.3 points a game last season. As he goes 1 of 2 for the line, and a big rebound from Smith Jr.
Yeah, he's most alert and quick to the basketball.
Johnson over to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. looks for a path to the basket. Someone's lost a shoe. It's Smith Jr., but he's not stopping playing. And referee Inga Spankovic says, guys, there's a shoe. There's a shoe on the floor.
Yeah, there is a shoe on the floor. He lost it.
I think he faked himself out of his own shoes.
He did. I would argue he's the quickest man on the court, even with one shoe.
He is, yeah. I think so. I think he's so fast, his shoes can't keep up with him.
Guys don't tie their shoes properly now. I mean, it's maybe as a 51-year-old a pet hate of mine, but it just don't. It seems to all be loose, and the amount of times that you see guys coming out of the sneakers.
Cholovinskas spinning and will be fouled on the shot. And Manchester in the bonus, so that's 2 free throws to come for Cholovinskas.
He was out of control too, Kaz. You can see how when he spun here, he was definitely out of control. The foul's going to be picked up on one of those guys. Hard to see from this angle, but move on, next play.
So Cholovinskas in his 3rd season for Surrey. Doesn't get the first. Started playing at 6 years old and played for the Baltic Stars.
How do you know? I mean, I'm not disagreeing with him, but how do you know he started playing at 6 years old?
We've got a great
things?
feature at halftime about Surrey's player pathway, and he mentioned it in there.
Okay.
Because I was watching our halftime content.
Now it makes sense.
Final minute of the first half. Johnson with a deep 3. Shots in and out. Cholovinskas with the rebound. And Surrey needs to get the ball over the halfway line. Ball go out of bounds. That was PJ Smith Jr. putting the pressure on, forcing the turnover. So Manchester will get it back.
Actually good for Surrey that he was out of bounds, because Jordan Johnson, it was a 3-on-1 going the other way, so gives Surrey the chance to get a stop and score and possibly go up on the night into the break.
2-second difference between the shot and game clock. Johnson against Lawrence. Lawrence guarding Johnson up high. Cleary comes in with the screen, back to Cleary, thought about it, 5 seconds, Cleary takes it all away, met by Ling. And a foul on the shot, so Kayem Cleary will go to the free throw line. 5.6 seconds in the half. And looks like Cleary might have got caught on that, so...
I think he just jammed the finger or the thumb there, but he goes up high, and the only way he could have scored was by dunking it, and whether Ling got a piece of the ball, it's tough, but you very rarely see a clean block called on that.
So it looks like Cleary's got caught in the face, so he's going to have to get that covered up.
Well, at least the referees can say, well, look at his face. You know, you're arguing, Ling, that it wasn't a foul, but go over there and look at the guy's head. Kayem Cleary with the cut, and he will have to go out and get that seen to.
So you got to get it seam to first, Kayem. You can't take your free throws first.
Just stay out here and shoot.
So he's going to go to the sideline, get that sorted. Kyle Carey comes into the game. So it is a 44-43 lead for Manchester out on the floor. Gives them a 15-point lead on aggregate. So Max Jones comes in.
Yeah, not a bad guy to come in and shoot the free throws.
So it will be 2 free throws to come for Manchester.
It's quite a big player because Max Jones has yet to register a point here tonight. We know how he's a high-volume scorer, and seeing one go through here from the foul line may help him going into the second half as he makes the first.
And it was Max Jones just over a week ago or so that had that massive 30-point game against Cheshire in the league where he hit that buzzer-beating 3 to give Manchester the win. A 1-point win in just a really thrilling game. As he goes 1 of 2 from the line, and Surrey have 3 seconds to get something off. Polite the third all the way, locked at the hoop, and at the end of the first half, it's a 45-43 lead for Manchester over Surrey on the floor, and that gives them a 16-point lead on aggregate. So, Jason, we're sort of almost around where we started the game.
Yeah, there's not much difference, but the big thing for Surrey is they're looking at it positively. They haven't been blown out. This is still a big game. A 16-point deficit overall, and it's still one of those ties that they can come back and win. So both teams a lot to play for in the second half.
There certainly is. So leading the way for Manchester, it is Tim Adetukasi with 11 points. And PJ Smith Jr. with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Isaiah Small with 12 points, 3 rebounds for Surrey. And you can see there, 48% from the field for Manchester to Surrey's 42. Surrey yet to hit a 3-pointer here in this first half. Manchester with 4, so just slightly below their average. But looking at the free throws, both teams getting to the foul line. 17 free throw attempts for Surrey to Manchester's 13.
Yeah, and there's no other stat really to me that matters apart from 0 for 8 for Surrey from the 3-point line. If they could have got 3 of those to go down, we're potentially looking at them causing an upset here. So good news for them. If they can make a few, they'll be right there.
And for Surrey, obviously the loss of Andrew Lawrence early on. We've seen Isaiah Small step up with those 12 points so far. What else do you want to see from Surrey in the second half?
Well, it was a tough one to lose him early because he is experienced in these situations. Both him and his father, Ronaldo Lawrence, have achieved big things within the game. And, you know, Andrew Lawrence going out early has given you that steadiness that's been taken away. So, tough one for Surrey to take early, seeing him go.
And for Manchester, they've been spreading the scoring about there. We've seen it's Tim Adetukasi leading the way with 11 points, but PJ Smith Jr. also adding in 9 as well. Is that what makes this Manchester team quite dangerous, that on any given night it's kind of anyone that can go off?
Yeah, because you don't know who is, like you say, anyone can score. You don't know who's going to hurt you. Max Jones has done it for about 5 weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden he only has 1 point in the game, and yet they're still playing very well. Tim Adetukasi, Kyle Carey, PJ Smith, Jordan Johnson, you can name them all. They are all capable of scoring in bunches.
So the second half is coming up, so stay tuned because you don't want to miss a second of the action. It's going to be super exciting at second half. But while you are waiting for the second half, you can watch our feature with Surrey's Lloyd Gardner as he talks about their player pathway. Learn about Nedas Cholovinskas starting playing at 6 years old.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
I'm nervous when it comes to games in general. Like, I never know the outcome of things. But just the potential of our team that we had, I was the young gun in the group. Like, I'm I had like Miles Hessen, Orlan Jackman, Jamal Anderson, like they're all way older than me. So it's like I felt like I had a lot to. I just had a lot to prove, you know. And you know, I think the one gold, and I think we showed out really well. When the final shot dropped, you know, Miles hit that game winner. I went crazy. Like I'm never really one to like celebrate. Like I'm really just bland. I'm boring, monotone, whatever. I just remember getting out my seat, running up to Miles. I just gave him the fattest hug ever. I was just screaming. It was crazy. But even then, I still haven't like fathomed like what we just did, and things didn't really kick in till later on that night. It's like I didn't take off my gold medal for like a week straight. I went to bed with my medal. I was showering my medal. I was like, I'm not letting this go. And I felt special. I felt really special. I was like, Ken just won a gold medal. About to play pro. It was like life's going the right way for me, innit? So I was like, I love it. This is it's crazy. Like, I still couldn't believe it. It's like going from winning the medal and then going on to just like proceeding to like go on to do what you love, earning money. It's like this is I won't say once in a lifetime opportunity. I feel like I just needed to be around my own culture. You know, I've been around Americans for 5 years, then around Germans for 3 years. I'm just like, I want to be around my people. I want to be around my friends and family. I want people to like, I want to show my friends, I want them to come support me, which I've always wanted to do. You know, just allow them to have the opportunity to see how far I've come, you know, and just put a little show for them, make sure they have a good time. I mean, that's probably what was most important for me. Most people have never really seen me play on domestic soil, and you know, everyone's only seeing highlights or whatever it is, and no one's really seen certain aspects of my game. For example, like I love defense, so I feel like being able to show people what I'm truly capable of it's exciting. It's exciting. I hope, you know, could put on a show for these lot and show people how much of a dog I am. I got a lot of people that look up to me, you know, even if it is outside of London, no matter where it is. You know, they're able to come watch a game down in Manchester. Like it's always a pleasure, it's always an honor. Like I've never really realized how much I inspire people. Like I've had people message me online, social media, just, you know, just saying how much they look up to me or whatever. So just having that in the back of my mind and knowing I'm capable of doing something like that, for me to be closer to home and allowing them to come, you know, make whatever comes to fruition was like, yeah, I love that. Just having, you know, young guys coming up, showcasing their talents, you know, friends, whoever, like guys I've hooped with in the past. I feel like it's a great opportunity for us, you know, to show everyone in and outside the league, like us Brits have talent, like we can rock with these guys and just prove to them we have a spot here, you know.
What's going on, SLB fans? My name's Maud, and we're here at the AO Arena. This is going to be the home of the SLB Cup final on March 22nd, 2026. Now, this is special because this is the first time the Super League Basketball Cup finals will be held in Manchester. Now, if you're new to the city, don't worry, because I'm going to show you around the most iconic spots in town. You ready? Let's do it. This is Piccadilly Gardens, the heartbeat of Manchester. Always buzzing, always busy, and literally an arm's length away from the AO Arena. Next up, we have the Trafford Centre, one of the biggest shopping malls in the UK, with over 30 million visitors every year. So before the game, you would do a little shop and grab some gear, head over here. Welcome to the Etihad Stadium, home of the 8-time Premier League champions, Manchester City. City are one of the biggest clubs in the country, but there's another huge club just around the corner. Manchester United are the biggest and most successful club in the country, and this is where they play, Old Trafford, aka the Theatre of Dreams. And just like the AO Arena, this is where history is made. This is the Northern Quarter, the creative hub of Manchester. Street art, food and bars. Just like in basketball, this is where you'll find some style and flair. Next up, we're at Hume Park. This is where the real ballers come to Hume Park. So if you think you've got game, pull up and let's see what you can do. Oh! So there you have it. That's Manchester in 60 seconds. Now I need you to bring all the energy. Super League Basketball Cup Finals, March 22nd, AO Arena. Let's do it.
The program was created primarily because we see, the responsibility we have to the development of youth basketball within the country. I think, the professional game within this country needs to understand its responsibility to growing basketball. Player development program primarily is for people that are already playing at a level. They may already be playing for National League teams, whether that's, in and around the Surrey area, whether that's further afield. Whether, over the future, whether that's playing teams for clubs that are the Surrey 89ers. But it's being able to access either, at certain points during the year, whether that's, performance camps or travel teams, or even remotely programs that we're trying to put together. So it's trying to, add addition to what clubs are being able to do and resources that clubs are able to provide. Thinking of areas like strength and conditioning, mental performance, expertise that we have within our club, and perhaps those junior teams or people from areas that don't have a structure locally to them that they can plug into. Hopefully this is a way that they can, experience a more elite level, something that will help them develop outside of their clubs or in hours that their clubs can't provide.
I think here was the best place because then immediately I'm like practicing because as soon as I came here, Lloyd was like, the practice on Tuesday, be there. That was it. And I was like, yeah, I'm straight into the system. In fact, last year I used to be skinny, so, lifting weights, having access to the gym, cardio, stuff like that, makes me be at the level to be at the pros. But then now it's time to, get the experience and stuff up. I say, it's one of the top pathways due to the coaching.
The goal is to lift the level of basketball on a broader spectrum. So, by helping youth players across the country or within Surrey, is hoping to lift the level of junior players. I think everything is connected. That's something that we understand. The better the level of the base, the better the level of professional players coming into our game. The better the level of the professional players, the better British basketball is in the wider world. And the better the level of our national team, that increases the profile for both our league and the national team, which I think go hand in hand, and they can support each other to grow the game, to make it more commercially sustainable, to make it bigger, to make it better in every level.
Obviously training with the pros every day, you learn quick and you get better much quicker. So yeah, it definitely felt like a whole different level. Lloyd, of course, as a coach, he looks after the, obviously Dan too, they both mentally, they're really locked in on helping the youth of British basketball. So I knew it was a good choice.
I would say the message is it's a tough road. I think that that can't be underestimated how difficult it is to be a professional, but the only way that you can get there is through hard work. And I think that, as we said at this moment in time, there is it's a struggle for certain players to get the opportunities needed. Court time, expertise, the overall program of what they need, touched on video analysis, strength and conditioning, mental, development as well. So programs like this hopefully can help fill some of those gaps that there currently are in the UK. And I think over time, again, we want every team, every club, every opportunity to be great, that everybody across the country can access things, whether that's with us or with somebody else.
Welcome back in to the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as we get ready for the second half between Manchester Basketball and the Surrey 89ers. It is the second leg of the semi-final and Manchester currently up 45-43 on the floor. That gives them a 16-point lead on aggregate. And we can see there the other semi-final, London Lions and the Cheshire Phoenix. It was London with a 17-point win on Friday night. That game will be coming up at 5:30 today in Cheshire. That will be the return leg. So Cheshire looking to overcome a 17-point deficit. And Surrey down 16 here overall. So in the first half, it's been Manchester shooting 48% to Surrey's 42%. And we mentioned it just before halftime, Jason, but that statistic there from the three-point line, 0 for Surrey and 4 for Manchester, both under teams' average.
Yeah, you can go through the stats and we can go through different players playing well and the technical side of the game, but they have to make some three-point shots in this second half to have any chance of upsetting Manchester here.
So some work for Surrey to do with a place in the Super League Cup final on the line, and that final will be taking place at the AO Arena in Manchester for the very first time. 21,000 capacity at the AO Arena. And we had a game in September of '95 where the Manchester Giants and London Leopards played in the BBL, setting the attendance record for a pro basketball game that still stands today. 14,151 people in attendance. That's huge.
Yeah, it was, and that was back in the days of Mark Robinson and Mike Bernard and co when they played as the X-side Manchester Giants in the 9X Arena. But I'm surprised we haven't got back up to that lead as Max Jones starts us off here in Manchester with a three-point shot.
And coming out of half-time, that's what Manchester will want to do. They want to put the pressure on, keep their foot on the gas as Polite the third answers with a floater.
Yeah, Max Jones now with his first field goal of the game, cans the three, and it was just what the doctor ordered. Can they keep this basketball moving and get good open looks in the second half?
As Adatu Cassie in off the glass from the left-hand side. And it was Manchester with a 24-point lead at one point on Friday night. Surrey doing a really good job to cut into that. And this game, they've not really allowed Manchester to get too far ahead.
Yeah, Adatu Cassie moving up to 13 points personal. He leads all scorers. And, I mean, how good's he been in the last month or 6 weeks? He's been sensational.
He's been huge. After that 3-game stretch where he shot 19 of 22 earlier in the season, he's just been on fire.
Guys are really comfortable in, I would say, in their own skin now. So Adatu Cassie and Kyle Carey, they both look really comfortable out here.
And sometimes it's a case of, and speaking of someone that looks comfortable on the floor, Lawrence just making tough baskets for the 89ers.
Yeah, Hayden Ling blocks that basketball at the rim. Really nice play by Hayden Ling on the weak side.
As Lawrence hangs in the air, gets the roll, and back-to-back buckets for Lawrence.
Yeah, don't just go anywhere yet. Max Jones opens up with the three and Adatu Cassie scores, but Surrey are coming right back. They're not going to give this one up very easy.
As Smith Jr.
Mismatch
backs
here
the ball
Smith
out,
Jr.
4 seconds, Smith Jr. puts it up and puts it in!
And he knew Hayden Ling didn't want to dance out there at the three-point line. He took the opportunity to be shifty and score.
Small can't get it to go. He had the hot hand in the first half for Surrey as passes intercepted by Lilly Jr. Lilly Jr. over to Lawrence. Lawrence with Smith Jr. on him. Tries to make some space, passes over, and Ling can't get it to fall. Smith Jr. has Jones on the baseline. Too much on the shot, and Surrey back down the floor. They've been able to get some stops here as Lilly Jr. with a big three for the 89ers.
Well, I sensed that coming, Kaz, because the previous play stole the basketball and I thought he was going to pull up for three. He's not really got going. It's only his 5th point of the basketball game. Lilly Jr. needs to get going as we see the first three for Surrey go through. That was a nice shot.
Jones for a long two, no good.
Once again, here comes Surrey.
Lawrence off the screen from Ling. Lawrence, not that time. Jones calling for it up ahead, and Adatu Cassie takes it, ball's loose, Cleary picks it up.
Oh my gosh!
And a reverse, almost a reverse dunk there from Cleary.
That was not easy. That may be a highlight of the week. Kayam Cleary sending it down the reverse as Manchester come out running, and Cleary once again has the chance to dunk the ball, and back-to-back buckets by Kyle Carey as he's in the air, and he tests Kayam Cleary as he's in the air and tests the springs on the rim. But Kayam Cleary, a man possessed here in Manchester.
4-point lead on the floor, 18 on aggregate for Manchester. Lilly Jr. runs into traffic. Lawrence takes the contact and will go to the foul line, and Tyrin Lawrence has done such a good job of that.
He has, but Kayam Cleary, oh my goodness. The reverse dunk in traffic, a human pogo stick in a half court. You can see right here the putback. What a play, the reverse dunk on Hayden Ling, and then he goes the other way, and PJ Smith tosses that one up, and Kayam Cleary does the rest. Wow.
Cleary certainly putting on a show for the fans as Lawrence at the foul line here for Surrey. Lawrence played 4 years at Vanderbilt University, where he was coached by Jerry Stackhouse of the Philly 76ers.
Wow, Jerry Stackhouse was an absolute beast in the NBA.
Gets the second to go. Lawrence up to 12 points.
Zone being employed, I think, here by Surrey as they'll try to throw Manchester off and give them a different look. And now go back into a man out of that zone.
Jones stops, passes to Nicholson. Nicholson leaves it short, gets the rebound, and another chance for Manchester as they move the ball around, and Smith Jr. connects from outside.
That is a killer. Coach Lloyd Gardner, you can see the body language, his head has slightly gone down, but what a shot by PJ Smith.
Lilly Jr. looks to answer and does for Surrey. Surrey are not going away. They keep chipping into this.
Lilly Jr., the Ivy League star, has that bounce in his step.
Smith Jr. out to Jones. Jones dancing his way inside. Ball's deflected. Lilly Jr. up ahead. Pulls up. Oh, and Lilly Jr. forces Manchester to call a timeout, and this is what we saw from him on Friday night. He just comes up big when his team needs him to.
And they are still alive here in Manchester in this semi-final. Lilly Jr. refusing to let Manchester get away with it that easy as he pulls up for the three. You can see him here. He has that high bounce and the two, and then he comes back with the outside three. Lilly Jr. putting on a show.
And if you're Manchester as well, you need to get out to that. You can't give him space. I know it's much easier said than done because he creates that space for himself, but he's such a threat from anywhere.
Well, sometimes you just have to say, just give me the basketball. And, you know, coaches can devise strategies, players can come up with plays, but every now and then somebody has to just say, give that ball here. Lilly Jr. is doing that now.
So 59-58, Manchester leading on the floor. 15 is the lead on aggregate for Manchester. A place in the cup final on the line. And you can get your tickets now. Go to Super League Basketball M or superleaguebasketballw.co.uk. March the 22nd at the AO Arena. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic day of basketball. And the winner of today's matchup here between Manchester and Surrey will face the winner of the bracket between the London Lions and the Cheshire Phoenix that takes place later today.
They were in a 15-point lead over aggregate going into the business end of the game right here. Is a healthy one for Manchester. And Adatu Cassie and Co. Can they see this one through?
Smith Jr. with the ball. Over to Osaboyan. Osaboyan met at the rim.
What a block.
A big block there from Wankwo. Surrey just chipping away into this Manchester lead. Lawrence with 7 seconds. Lawrence spins, hangs in the air, banks it in. And that's the hang time. Tyrin Lawrence able to take his time, maneuvers himself in the air. As Smith Jr. rolls in two for Manchester.
Yeah, keep ticking it over PJ Smith and Co. And you will be there and thereabouts. But a nice move at the other end by Lawrence. replied and answered by PJ Smith.
It's under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Cholovinskas lines it up, knocks it down. That is what he does best.
And they are getting going from three-point line. They lead by 2 for the first time in a long time here tonight as PJ Smith tries to respond. And is this the time that Surrey really start cutting into this lead?
As the ball's knocked away by Carey, and Carey will take it all the way, throws it down. Kyle Carey, defense to offense, ties the game back at 63.
Well, if you needed something, Kyle Carey's just come up big, really big steal as Surrey try and get back at them.
Lawrence. Ball's knocked loose, Smith Jr. has it, Manchester with numbers as Cleary steps through, out to Carey. Smith Jr. will reset for Manchester, good decision there. As Adatu Cassie gets the foul, that's on the floor, and Surrey's first foul this quarter, and both teams just on one team foul each after around 7.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, they are, and everything is going the way of Manchester in terms of them being resilient. Surrey have played very, very well in this half. I don't think you could play any better, but Manchester have just responded when needed. They have guys that can come up with big plays, and that was a big one, a steal and the dunk.
So Jordan Johnson and Zach Irving out onto the floor for Manchester. Cleary against Cholovinskas. Cleary steps back, three's up. Not that time. And Polite the third gets the ball back. Polite the third, and Ossaboyem getting a hand on that, but Small saves the ball for the 89ers. And Polite the third finishes the play under the basket.
Well, Ossaboyem wasn't rewarded for his good defense. His teammates didn't come up with the basketball.
Johnson to Irvin, back to Johnson. Johnson scoops it up, too strong. Ball's with Surrey, Cholovinskas up ahead. And blocked by Cleary. As ball's loose, Cleary has it out to Johnson. Jordan Johnson pulls the trigger and gets it to go. And Jordan Johnson, that's his second half. That's it. That's what he does in the second half. The amount of times he hits that three on the wing late in the third quarter or in the fourth. How many times have we seen that?
How well are these guards playing for Manchester? It seems like everybody has responded. PJ Smith has come back. Kyle Carey has come back. Kyle Cleary with back-to-back dunks. And now Jordan Johnson from the outside adds insult to injury. They've just played so well, all of these guards for Manchester.
Okay, then B can't get the three to fall. Jones has it for Manchester. Carey up ahead. Carey draws the foul, and Kyle Carey will go to the free throw line. 1:39 to go in the third quarter. Carey with 8 points and 2 rebounds for Manchester, coming off that 16-point game on Friday night where he made 4 threes.
Yeah, and he draws the foul well, mixing it up now, Kyle Carey. He's had the 2 threes in the first half, and then he's had an open dunk. And now he gets to the foul line, and he could go to 10 points personal. And I would say in 15 minutes of play, that's not bad business.
As he takes himself up to 9, Carey returning for Manchester basketball after playing last season. Shot a career high in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage last season as he goes 1 of 2 from the line.
So defensively, they have a very, very good unit here. Manchester, they have Ossaboyem. We know Zach Irving defensively, Max Jones and Kyle Carey, and Jordan Johnson has played well defensively tonight here.
Lawrence against Ossaboyem. 3 seconds on the clock. Lawrence doesn't get it to go. You can see Ossaboyem making it really difficult there to get to the hoop as Jones powers his way to the basket. But an offensive foul call goes against Manchester. Jones will pick up his 3rd foul, and the ball will go back with the 89ers.
Yeah, Teo Ondegbe played this really well. He backed up, and he avoided going forwards, and Max Jones dipped the shoulder. You can see why they called the foul.
So 1:09 to go in the third quarter. Surrey waiting for the clock to start here as they get the ball over the line. Lawrence. Round to Small. Small had the hot hand in the first half. As Polite the third has Jones on him. Back to Small. Small steps back and doesn't get it to fall.
Played well by Ossaboyan.
Johnson. Johnson against Coop. Back to Johnson. Ossaboyan. Ossaboyan going inside. Ball's up to Irvin, and Irvin with a tough move. Able to finish under the basket. Looked like he was almost too far underneath, but didn't matter.
Zach Irvin finishing under the bucket, under pressure. We've seen it so many times, and Manchester look like, if that goes their way, no it doesn't, looks like Surrey may have the final shot.
So ball goes out of bounds and it will be Surrey possession. And a 5-second difference between the shot and game clock. So Surrey with 12 seconds on the shot clock. As Lawrence calling for it, that is too much space for Lawrence. Shot doesn't fall, but it's bounced into the hands of Polite the third, and Small finishing at the rim. 5 seconds for Manchester. Johnson against Ogadengbe. Johnson going all the way to the basket. Irving tips it in at the buzzer, and a collision on the floor. Looks like between Johnson and Lawrence. So a bit of a scrappy end to the third there. Zach Irvin gives Manchester a 4-point lead on the floor with the quarter ending. But Jordan Johnson looks like he's taken some contact there. He'll get seen to out on the floor.
Yeah, it looks like an impact injury, which is not bad. He's holding his stomach. He'll be fine, but the tipping by Zach Irving just propels momentum Manchester's way going into the fourth.
So 71-67, Manchester leading over Surrey. That gives them an 18-point lead on aggregates. And we'll just get it confirmed if that basket did count. If it did, Manchester will be up to 71. So as it stands, Manchester shooting 49% from the field to Surrey's 45. Surrey now having hit 3 threes that quarter. That's just what they needed to do. But Manchester have answered with 3 of their own.
Listen, Surrey have played really well. You know, and it is demoralising that they're leading the rebound count and they're shooting the basketball well, and they're just not within it yet. So really, really tough for Surrey. Manchester just caught them at a bad time. They are rolling.
So it was a 26-24 run for Manchester in the third quarter. Zach Irvin's last second buzzer beater does count, so 71-67 on the floor. So 10 more minutes to play and a spot in the cup final on the line at the AO Arena in Manchester. I mean, Jason, what a huge opportunity for the city of Manchester to host such an event like that.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. I mean, it's huge for the franchise. It's huge for everyone involved, in whether you're Manchester Magic, whether you're past Giants, whether you're Manchester United. This is Manchester basketball, and everyone will be coming together within the city, and if they can make the final, it will be huge.
So 10 more minutes to play. 89ers ball. Surrey with some work to do as they're down 18 on aggregate. And they're a team that can go on runs. They can score in bursts, and we've seen them do it. So it's still a lot of time for them to cut into this lead. As Chola Vinskas catch and shoot. Shots off.
Manchester staying with the team that got it done in the third quarter as Cal Carey shoots from the perimeter and surprisingly misses, but they're going to stay with the guys that got it done in the third.
Chola Vinskas to Polite the third. Has Carey on him. Small. Ball's knocked away and Ossaboyan has it, but then Chola Vinskas takes it back for the 89ers. Small in the corner, takes his time, nails it.
That's a tough shot because he was wide open, and sometimes he can be too open. Small nails the 3-ball.
15-point lead on aggregate. Irvin. Ossaboyan.
will just not go away, and Surrey just staying within it, and they are still in striking distance, Kaz. Down 13 on aggregate, but Cholovinskas and co not going away lightly.
Cholovinskas up to 9 points personal, and they have a 1-point lead on the floor. But as you said, Jason, it's that 13-point lead on aggregate for Manchester. And again, is it a case of Surrey? They just need to break that 10-point mark. They've not really been able to do that. But once they get there, you're talking about a single-digit game, which really kind of changes your approach.
You have, but for them, the problem is the way Manchester are playing, they have guys that can respond. I mean, you can overlook at the stats as we're talking here, but one of the big things for me is Coach Otten needs to use his timeouts wisely. If Manchester do not score and Surrey get on a run, that is the time to call a couple of timeouts.
So PJ Smith Jr. leading the way for Manchester, 16 points personal. And Isaiah Small with 17 points for the 89ers. 8:46 to play. And in the other semi-final, that will be tipping off at 5:30 today between the London Lions and Cheshire Phoenix. And London have a 17-point lead against Cheshire. That game in Cheshire, and Cheshire are an incredibly high-scoring team to come up against. So that's going to be a really exciting second leg to watch as well. As Jones drives to the basket, it's loose, picked up by Polite III. Small. Cholovinskas into Small and out to the corner. Shot doesn't fall, but Nicholson gets the rebound, but the ball movement there from Surrey working well.
Yeah, they had the shot they wanted. Lilly Jr. just rushed it.
As Johnson hangs in the air, blocked by Lilly Jr., but a foul called. And that's 2 free throws to come for Johnson, and the 4th foul on Lilly Jr. for the 89ers with over 8 minutes to play.
Well, that is absolutely huge, but you can clearly see that ball is blocked by Lilly Jr. He played really good defense, and you can tell from player reactions and coach reactions. Yeah, that looked like a block, but
Johnson gets the first and takes himself up to 10 points personal, along with 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Johnson in his first season for Manchester was out in Kosovo last year, averaging just under 18 points a game and 6.3 assists. Wherever he goes, he's going to get his teammates the basketball.
He is. And he can handle it and take the pressure off you.
Polite III. Off the screen from Ling. Polite III all the way to the basket.
That was tough, and he wanted the foul at the other end. Polite scores and keeps the 89ers alive.
Johnson. Johnson to Nicholson. Nicholson drives to the basket, leaves it short. Polite III over to Lilly Jr. Back to Lilly Jr. in the corner, off the rim. You can see Carey there just saying, slow it down.
The Brown University graduate, Lilly Jr., he's frustrated. He's had a couple of good looks that are makeable for him, and he's missed them both.
Jones driving baseline, hangs in the air, gets it to go.
Max Jones taking his time, backing down the defense, and found out he was open. Tough shot by Max Jones.
Lilly Jr. backs the ball out. Polite III to Cholovinskas, has space. Won't fall. As Johnson round the outside. Johnson. Oh, dancing inside. Nicholson can't get it to go, but gets his own rebound. And second time lucky for Matt Nicholson.
Nicholson rewarded for the effort, missed the easier one, but stuck with it and got the putback.
Polite III. Over to Ling. Ling with the short shot. Doesn't go.
Well, I will say this, Manchester at the moment are good at playing with the lead as Zach Irving runs that one in. A timeout is going to be called, but Kaz, they just keep responding and responding. Manchester basketball looking good.
So a time out called 79-74. Manchester lead on the floor. (79-74), Manchester lead over the Surrey 89ers. And that is what is on the line, a place in the Cup final at the AO Arena in Manchester on March the 22nd. Now Surrey were runners-up last year to Sheffield. Manchester looking to make their very first final as a franchise. So much on the line for both of these teams, Jason.
There is, and it looks like Manchester are going to have this. They have 1 foot in the final already, but 6 minutes remaining. These next 3 minutes are everything for both basketball clubs.
So Manchester with a 19-point lead on aggregate. Lilly Jr. against Cleary. Small steps back. It's short. Johnson gets the rebound. Manchester with numbers, and Cleary throws it down. Gets the crowd on their feet. And Kayem Cleary, a man on a mission today.
Yeah, we love the dunk, but Kayem Cleary just looks like something in his knee, and that doesn't look good for Kayem Cleary. We can see the dunk, and we're going to see him go airborne, and it was a great play, but the bigger news is he okay? Because as he comes down, he winces and holds that right knee. And you just hope that that is nothing serious for Kayem Cleary.
So Cleary commits the foul, and we'll see PJ Smith Jr. back out onto court. Lilly Jr. Surrey looking to make a run. Lilly Jr. threes up and in. And he makes it look easy. He's up to 13 points.
Nice response from Lilly Jr.
Johnson to Adatu Cassie. 6 seconds on the clock. 4 seconds. Johnson, long two, goes!
That is the task at hand when you're playing with Manchester. And Smith nearly has the stick back, but when there are guys like this on court, but this guy with the ball in his hands, they can just keep being a pest and keep scoring. It's really, really tough to get back into the game with this guy on court.
And 2 seconds for Johnson, puts it up at the buzzer and scoops it. Oh, basket's waved off, a 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, it's not,
ball
not
didn't
one you can
leave his
argue
hand
with.
in time, just a split second.
Yeah, not one you can argue with, Kaz.
So Surrey ball, just over 4.5 minutes to play. Lawrence, over to Small. Small runs into traffic, gets his own rebound though, and blocked by Nicholson, and Matt Nicholson swats the ball. It's Manchester possession. Smith Jr. to Jones. Jones pulls up, knocks it down.
That is the dagger, Kaz. There does not look a way back here for Surrey. And Manchester basketball are rolling. You may be witnessing history here in Manchester. It looks like they're on their way to the final.
As Ogadengbe is fouled, he'll go to the line, and that increases Manchester's lead up to 23. So under 4 minutes to play. We'll see Ling into the game. Timothy Wankwo heads to the bench for the 89ers, and Teo Ogadengbe playing in his 11th season for Surrey.
I think, Kaz, we spoke earlier about the game and Manchester playing their game but not rushing. They have done so well in doing that because they've not changed their identity. Their identity is playing tough, hard-nosed defence and getting out and scoring on the secondary break. They've done that, but they've not rushed either if they hadn't had anything easy at the bucket. Done so well.
As Ogdengby gets the second, and yeah, you can see Manchester have really stuck to their game plan, which can be really difficult when teams are trying to obviously make you play their way. But Manchester, like you say, have just really stuck to what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and the shot making of guys like Max Jones here as he makes back-to-back threes has just made it an almost impossible task for Surrey to get back. And I do feel for them because they've played well.
Ogdengby on the baseline, lays in two.
Yeah, and it's been a rarity for Ogdengby, and you can see Coach Lloyd Gardner now. He's so frustrated. He wanted an illegal screen on the last play. He's not got it, but you can understand why emotions are becoming fraught at this point. But Manchester, they are sensing something special.
They certainly are. As Johnson goes to we've had a technical foul called there, so Jordan Johnson will be taking the technical free throw as he makes it. But for Manchester, a new franchise in the city, obviously the Manchester Giants in the BBL, we've seen for several seasons, and the Giants were runners-up in the Cup final back in the 2022 season. Surrey winning the Cup as the Guildford Heat back in 2007. But for Manchester, for a new franchise to make it to a Cup final that they are looking, like you say, potentially very close to doing so in the next 3 minutes in their home city, that's a massive achievement for a new franchise.
It is, but it sets them up nicely for the final, for the fact of they've beat London Lions in London, and not many people have, and they've also beat Cheshire in Cheshire. So two very, very good teams they have taken down, and potentially they're going to the final right now. You would see this as more or less done. They're going to come up against one of the teams and they know they can get it done.
And a foul on the floor sends Surrey to the line as Ling takes a seat. Joe Levinskas checks back in, so Tyron Lawrence at the foul line makes the first. Lawrence in his time for Vanderbilt hit a buzzer beater against Tennessee in 2023 to give Vanderbilt a win over Tennessee for the first time since 2017.
I mean, Kaz, we were both kids growing up within the game, and we both saw, you know, Manchester, Sheffield, London Towers, London Leopards. You know, everybody wants the game to get back up to those sellout crowds of Manchester and London. And, you know, we've had NBA talk, you know, around the game and the Super League basketball, but this is really, really good for the city that Manchester are possibly going to go into the final, and you know, how good will it be for everyone around the game? Like
it's huge, isn't it? And you mentioned it earlier, you know, the Manchester Magic and Mystics program. Manchester is such a basketball-rich city. As Lil Lee Jr. nails a three for Surrey, but there's such a buzz in the community and in the fan base. It's so rewarding for them to see, you know, a team succeeding and playing at the highest level as Max Jones continues to pour in the points for Manchester basketball as they stretch out the lead here. It's a 21-point lead on aggregate, just over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, well, it's all said and done here in Manchester, and that guy is known as the killer, and he has just done that to Surrey. He's put it totally without of reach. But what a game here for Manchester basketball. Take a bow, coaches, take a bow, players.
And this is the Manchester team with a relatively new roster, just Kyle Carey and Zach Irvin returning for Manchester basketball this season. And GM Dom Allen, and alongside coach Matthew Austin, Matt Pitkin, Anton Boxey, has done a really good job of getting this squad together and getting everybody on the same page and playing their best basketball out there.
It's funny you should say that, because those two players are a massive part of the culture here.
Yeah.
Kyle Carey, you know how he plays, you know what you're going to get, but you also move Zach Irvin into the captaincy, and he's responded very well. So they've shown the players coming in what is expected, and they've really adapted well. And what a team it's been so far.
And Manchester will be back at home on Wednesday against the Newcastle Eagles, and then a big game on Sunday against the London Lions. It's the North v South game next Sunday. You can go to manchester.basketball and get your tickets now.
It is, and another chance for Manchester to test their mettle. But we've just seen Coach Matthew Otten on screen. Now, I thought coming in at the beginning of the season, following Coach Mandole last year and his success, it was going to be a tough one for Coach Otten. He's handled that very, very well.
He certainly has. A small, persistent to the basket, rewarded with 2. And takes himself up to 19 points. Johnson. Smith Jr. Back to Johnson. Ball's loose. Johnson picks it up, floats it in, takes the contact. And Jordan Johnson goes to the free throw line. He's up to 16 points as he increases the Manchester lead. And we will see Judson Martindale getting ready to check back in alongside Duke Shelton as Martindale takes to the floor. Gabe Osaboyan and Tim Adesukasi will take a seat for Manchester, and Demi Babalola making his Super League debut out on the floor for the young player. You love to see that, Jason.
Yeah, Manchester clearing the bench, and it's no disrespect to the opposition. They're just trying to get some of their younger guys who don't play as much into the ball game and get a minute and change experience.
And we spoke about basketball in the city of Manchester. Demi Babalola coming through the Manchester Magic programme, a really exciting young player as Tyrin Lawrence to the basket. He's just making tough shot after tough shot.
Yeah, he is, but it's all said and done here. These baskets, we're just ticking them through now. But yeah, it's really, really nice to see the number 10 for Manchester out here on court. He'll have the ball in his hands in a split second.
As Lawrence picks it up and takes it all the way, and an unsportsmanlike foul goes against Manchester as Lawrence makes the basket. So 2 free throws and possession to come here for Surrey. So foul goes against Johnson.
So, wow, Kaz, look who we have in the building. There is 2 basketball legends. We have Tony Sims, the smaller of the 2 there, and Clive Allen, who not only is they're both Birmingham Bullets legends, they won so much, but Clive Allen is the father of Dom Allen, who's the general manager here. And adding to that, you know, it's Mum's birthday today, so his wife Jane, it's her birthday today. She has a chance to see her daughter's club get into the final. And what legends they are. So great job by the camera crew to highlight those players. So much history we have in the game.
Certainly, and a happy birthday to Jane. As out on the floor here, so we've just got to stop. So we did have an unsportsmanlike foul call. There's the ref just talking it over, but 2 shots to come here for Tyrin Lawrence. He's up to 18 points today, as we've got a substitution for Surrey. And we'll see Josh Smith-White out onto the floor. Smith-White playing for the London Stars in Division 2 this season. So 2 free throws here for Tyrin Lawrence.
We've just seen Coach Lloyd Gardner. He's a class act, you know, because his team have been well beaten both in the last game and here tonight, it looks, and he's just a class act. Being at Manchester, he did come back from a semi-final deficit against Caledonia, or Glasgow as they were then. You know, and his team progressed. If you remember Jamel Anderson and Jordan Whelan and co, they did come back from a 12-point deficit and get into the final. So he possibly, you know, dared to flirt with that thought here in Manchester again, but it hasn't been here for him tonight.
Lawrence pass is broken up by Martindale, comes up with a steal, and Judson Martindale with a block and the steal on defense today. As Smith Jr. streaks his way to the basket, adds in 2 more, putting the icing on the cake for Manchester, who are 1 minute away from the cup final. And Small steps back, a high arcing shot won't go, and the ball will go Manchester's way, and the crowd are ready to celebrate here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. And coming up after this game, the women have their semi-final against the Oakland's Wolves, as Manchester Basketball looking to represent at the AO Arena. Johnson to Martindale, kicks it out. Babalola's shot is short, and an offensive foul call. So Surrey possession. And we've got the Manchester women's team watching on the baseline. We can see their young star, Irene Oboado, who is an absolutely exceptional talent on the floor for the women's team.
Yeah, Manchester basketball just keep getting it done for both the men's and the women's year after year. They're always there and thereabouts, very, very competitive. And we wish both of those teams luck.
Ogadengbe against Shelton. Smith-White, Lawrence blocked by Shelton. As Ogadengbe puts up a three, shot spins out, Johnson has it. Smith Jr. up ahead will put the icing on the cake. And with 5 seconds to go, it will be Manchester basketball moving on to the cup final for the first time in franchise history. Manchester basketball make it to the cup final at the AO Arena in Manchester on the 22nd of March. One more stop on the road to home, one more game to come, and a really well-deserved victory for Manchester today, Jason.
Well, the fans are all stood up here applauding their team. The effort has been great. Over the 2 legs, they have definitely been the better club, and they are worthy of going into that final. They've done it with a flowing offense and an arrogant stubbornness on the defensive end.
A 21-point lead on aggregate for Manchester overall, 99-92 here on the floor, and Manchester led by a big performance from PJ Smith Jr. 46 points over 2 games, dropping 20 today, along with 6 rebounds. Max Jones adding in 15 points, and Jordan Johnson off the bench with 16. And for the Surrey 89ers, Tyron Lawrence, 20 points and 8 rebounds. Isaiah Small with 19 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double for him. Like you said, Surrey played a really strong game, just Manchester just able to counter.
Well, they had 92 points on the road here against a really good team, and they got going in the second half with 3-point shots, but Manchester were just too good.
And Surrey out-rebounding Manchester, but Manchester hitting 10 threes, 40% from 3 to Surrey's 6. Surrey hit those 3 in the third quarter and 3 in the fourth, but 52% from the field overall to Manchester's 41% means they move on to the first final in franchise history. What a moment for the team and for the city, Jason.
Yeah, they'll enjoy this one tonight. And basketball, you always move on to the next game. You don't get too high, you don't get too low, but for tonight is a time to celebrate. Tonight is an achievement for the club, and it's an achievement for the players, but not just the players, everybody involved, backroom staff, people that work on game day, people that put in for the club. It's a good time.
And you can get your tickets to the cup final now on Super League Basketball M or superleaguebasketballw.co.uk. The women's game will be at 1:30, and that will be between either Manchester and Oakland and Sheffield and Caledonia. Both those semi-finals coming up today in the women's competition, and then the men's final is at 4:30, and Manchester will be taking on either London or Cheshire.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do not go anywhere, because at 5:30 we will see who will face Manchester in the final in London and Cheshire. So staying on the zone and watch the basketballs. That's going to be another great game.
You've got your choice. You can watch it on the zone or on the Super League Basketball Men's YouTube or TikTok channels. So, you know, get your split screens going. Watch the men's final, watch the women's semi-final, men's semi-final and women's semi-finals.
Basketball frenzy, Kaz.
It is. And London have a 17-point lead over Cheshire as they head into their second leg. And, you know, some work for Cheshire to do there, but they're a team that can get very hot very quickly.
Yeah, they are. and they just don't back down. So Cheshire, I'll be very surprised if it's not a gutsy, chippy performance by them at Cheshire.
So Manchester go again in the league on Wednesday against Newcastle, and then play on Sunday against the London Lions in a battle between North and South. Go to manchester.basketball to get your tickets. Come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre and support the team. And Surrey will be playing Newcastle on Friday the 20th at home. But Manchester, they are moving on to the Cup final on the 22nd of March at the AO Arena for the first time in franchise history. The final score from here in Manchester, Manchester 99, Surrey 92. Manchester winning by 21 on aggregate. From myself, Caroline Bullock, and from Jason Swain, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Super League basketball is levelling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.